here, we're out here to teach the truth. We're out here every single Sabbath to teach our brothers and sisters what is the truth according to the Bible. Read. Give me John. Read.
John chapter 8 and verse 32.
Read.
And ye shall know the truth.
The Bible says ye shall know the truth. You're going to know the truth, you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man, because that's not who you are according to the Bible. That's not who you are according to God.
Bring it out.
Give me what the truth is. Because a lot of us have been lied to throughout our lives. From the day that we came out the womb, even until now, we have been lied to.
Right.
We've been lied to who we are. We've been lied to what our heritage is. Read.
Psalm chapter 119 and verse 142.
Read.
Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
God says his righteousness is everlasting. It's not going anywhere. It's established on this earth forever. Read.
And thy law is the truth.
He says, and thy law is the truth. This is our heritage, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. Give me that in Sirach. Because we got to realize our heritage has been lost unto us. We have had our heritage in times past, but once we got in cargo slave ships, once we got put in slavery under the Arabs, under the so-called white man, we have lost our heritage. But it's now time for you to come back to your true nationality. It's time for you to come back to your true heritage. Read.
Ecclesiasticus Sirach, chapter 17, verse 11.
Read.
Besides this, he gave them knowledge.
God has given us knowledge. He's given us law, statute, and commandments. Read.
And the law of life for inheritance.
He said, and he gave us a law of life for inheritance. God has given us pure laws. He's given us righteous laws. He's given us just laws to follow according to what he has stated.
Right.
Go back to John.
John chapter 8 and verse 32.
Read.
And ye shall know the truth.
You're going to know God's law, so-called black, Hispanic, Native American man. You're going to know your true nationality. You're going to know your heritage. Read.
And the truth shall make you free.
In the truth, God's laws is going to set your mind from out of bondage. Because we're in bondage right now. We might not have physical chains upon us, but our minds are still in bondage.
Wake 'em up.
It's time for you to come back to God's laws to be free from that bondage.
Right.
Come back to your heritage.
Right.
This is your heritage. Give me that in Psalms.
Wake 'em up.
Psalms chapter 147. Because we're not out here for all nations. We're only out here to teach our heritage to our people. Read.
Right.
Psalm chapter 147 and verse 19.
Read.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
He says he showed his word unto Jacob. Jacob is our forefather. His name was changed unto Israel. And that's why our nationality is of the Israelite descent. We're the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
That's right.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He says he gave his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Read on.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He has not dealt so with any other nation upon this earth but the children of Israel. You
Right.
so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Give me Amos. Amos chapter 3.
Bring it out.
He's only dealt with us. Everybody that's on this tribe, sign right here, 12 tribes. If you don't know who you are, come up. Look at the sign. We have it here for you.
Right.
For you to learn who you are. Read.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
Read.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you.
This is the words that God has spoken against us. Read.
O children of Israel.
O children of Israel. O you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Read.
Against the whole family.
Against the whole family. All 12 tribes of Israel. Against the whole family. All seeds that came out of Israel, it's against that family. Read.
Which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Because God has brought us up from the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. That's what Egypt means, the house of bondage. He rescued us from Pharaoh. He led us from Egypt all the way to this side of the world in the land of Israel, and because we disobeyed God, he led us to this side of the world for captivity. Read.
Which I brought up from the land of Egypt,
Read.
saying, ye only have I known of all the families of the earth.
This goes right back to what we just read in Psalms. Psalms chapter 147, verse 19 and 20. Read it again. No, yep. Read.
Psalm chapter 147 and verse 19.
Uh-huh.
He showeth his word unto Jacob.
The Bible's always repeating itself. He says he showed his word unto Jacob. He rescued us from the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Read.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He gave his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Read.
He had not dealt so with any nation.
He did not care about all the other nations. He only cared about the children of Israel, because the covenants was made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Israel. Read.
And as for his judgments.
And as for his judgments, read.
They have not known them.
As for God's curses, no other nation upon this earth has known the curses but us. We were the ones that went to slavery on cargo slave ships. Right. We are the ones that's currently in bondage. We are the ones that's serving our enemies in hunger, thirst, and nakedness, and the one of all things. We are the ones that's always paying taxes. Right. Read. Go back to
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord that he only cares about the children of Israel. He doesn't care about the other nations. Only the children of Israel. All praises to the Most High for that. Go back to where you was at.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 2.
Read.
Ye only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
He said, because of our iniquities, because of the sins that we commit on a day-to-day basis, God said he's going to punish us for all the things that we have done. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. So what is the punishments that he had placed upon us? Let's check out a couple of them. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Start at verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Read.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now this is the prophet Moses speaking unto the children of Israel. He said, these things are surely going to come to pass if we did not listen and did we not obey God's laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
To observe to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do his commandments. Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Because Moses gave us law, statute, commandments. Moses gave us laws that we are supposed to follow, to be a righteous nation, a holy nation, a separate nation. Right?
That all these curses.
But we did not follow the laws, statutes, and commandments that God gave unto Moses to teach us. Right?
That all these curses.
Therefore, curses is going to be placed upon us as a people. Read on.
Shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now these curses have now come upon us, and now it has overtaken us. Give me verse 47.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
Because we don't want to serve God with joyfulness. It's the Sabbath day. But what we do, we say, forget the Sabbath day. Forget God's laws. Forget treating each other as brothers and sisters. Forget showing brotherly love unto one another. Read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
We're not happy when it's time for God's high holy days to come around. We think it's a burden. Read.
For the abundance of all things.
Because God has created the world for us, only for the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's time for you to come and realize that this world and everything that revolves around this world is made for you. The sun, the moon, and the stars is made for you. All the nations upon this earth were made because of you. Right.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Because you don't want to serve God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. God has said you're going to what?
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
And now you're going to serve your enemies, right?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
Because the Lord has sent our enemies against us. They just didn't come here in a fly-by-night making up a plan. No, the Lord put that idea upon them and sent the enemies against us. Right?
And hunger.
And hunger. Any type of food you want, you got to go to your enemies. No matter if it's any type of nation you go to. You go to so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese. You go to the so-called Arab man, the so-called white man. Those are your enemies. You got to go to them for food. Right?
And in thirst.
Any type of water you want, Philadelphia Water Company is not ran by us. It's ran by your enemies. Any type of water you want to drink out of the bottle is not ran by us. It's ran by your enemies.
Residents of Jackson, Mississippi have gone without safe drinking water for weeks.
So when people hear the phrase environmental racism, is this what we're talking about?
We're talking about environmental racism. We're talking about infrastructure apartheid. We're talking about which communities get left out, left behind. And when you have a red state and with blue cities, it's more difficult for those cities to get resources from the state. It's not just Jackson, it's Texas and other southern states specifically. When you start seeing that flight of white people from the city, you also see that flight of dollars, infrastructure dollars, roads, bridges, dams, water systems, schools. You can name it.
Right.
And in nakedness.
And any type of clothes you want to put on your back, any type of shoes you want to walk in, is ran by your enemies. We do not make any of these things. Even the name brand clothes, you may have like Rockaware, or whatever it's called nowadays, it's still not ran by us. It's still ran by our enemies. Although the face upon there is a so-called black man, but still nonetheless, it's still ran by your enemies. Right.
And in want of all things.
And any type of want that you want, any type of desire that you want, any type of desire that you need. You need a house, you got to go to your enemies for it. If you need any type of certificate, such as death certificate, birth certificate, any type of medical attention, you got to go to your enemies for it. Right.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And that yoke of iron is going to be upon your neck. Everywhere that you've gone in captivity, that yoke of iron is upon your neck. Right on.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until he has destroyed you as a people. And we were destroyed. Once Abraham Lincoln has signed that Emancipation Proclamation, those chains were now released off our neck, but the chains are now on our mind.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.